It's really not about getting your mind to go blank, because it's not. It's about letting the thoughts come in, because they will, but then letting them go out. Hello there, prosperity seeker. Welcome to another episode of The Prosperity Approach. I'm your host, Allyson Chavez. Super happy you've joined me this week because we're going to talk about how to have a meditation that actually does something for you. But before we go there, if you're listening to the audio version of this episode, be sure that you're following the podcast on your favorite app. If you want to see what we're up to, head on over to allysonchavez.com. You can see about our next workshop that's coming up. You can see about our different programs and all of our freebies and resources that we have to really help you make your next level of success happen without any struggle. One of the ways that we can take the struggle out of up-leveling to our next version of ourselves and that next level of success that we're after is having regular meditation every day. But how in the world do you have a meditation that actually makes a difference in your life? We've heard about it from all of the big gurus. Who was it? Deepak Chopra or the Dalai Lama. I can't remember. He said, if I have a regular day, I meditate for an hour. If I have a really busy day, then I meditate for 2 hours. And I'm like, well, I remember reading that quote and thinking, well, good for you. I can't even hold still for 3 minutes, let alone 2 hours. So what's the big deal about meditating? And I am all about simplicity. If you followed me for any length of time, I really like to drill that in. It's got to be simple. If it's complicated and convoluted, I get confused easily and I'm not going to do it. I forget what the steps are. So I like, 5 steps or less. I'm okay if there's lots of moving pieces to things because I understand that as we're co-creating, there's lots of moving pieces to it, but the pieces are really simple. And meditation is one of those pieces that will really help you to open up, help you get into the receiving mode, and really help you get to that next level that you desire without scratching your way to it. It's so beautiful. So the first thing that you're going to do to have a meditation that's actually going to make a difference is let it be simple and have an intention behind it. And here's what the intention needs to be, quite honestly. The intention is to quiet your mind and to open you up to receive. That's it. That's all the intention is behind a meditation. Now, this takes practice. This is something that you train yourself to do. So if you are like me and you put on some soft music and then for 10 minutes you run through your to-do list, then know that you haven't quieted your mind. You've just done your to-do list with quiet music in the background. I can't tell you how many times I have done that, especially when I first started. But you are worth 10 minutes of just quieting your mind. Now, here's the thing. It's really not about getting your mind to go blank, because it's not. It's about letting the thoughts come in, because they will, but then letting them go out. And just coming back to center. And center is really easy. It's just breathing. Or focusing on one word. It could be peace. It could be calm. It could be breathe. It's a word that doesn't really evoke a whole ton of emotion in you, but just helps you get you back to center. I really love to meditate to some instrumental music in the background, just because it makes it easier for me to focus and also to detach. I know that I've had a meditation that actually makes a difference when I can reach a point of detachment. It's kind of like my spirit separates itself from my body just a little bit. And this is what it feels like. That you might not understand that, but you're going to understand this. Like when you sit still long enough and then you can't really feel your fingers. Your fingers are there, but you can't feel them, or you can't feel your toes. They're there, but you have to wiggle them or move them to connect back to them and actually feel them. That's how I know, like I want to get to detachment where I'm just detached. Because that is the receiving mode. That's opening up. I like to remind myself, I heard this from Joe Dispenza, more energy, less matter. More energy, less matter. But sometimes I get too in my head about that. All right, I'm being too matter-like. I need to get into energy. And then I mess up my meditation, or I make it less effective than it could be. I like saying it better that way. But I like detachment. All right, I'm just going to be detached. And when I can't feel my arms or I can't feel my hands, then I know I'm detached. Like, have you ever held your hands and you've got one hand over the other, but you can't tell that one hand is over the other? You don't feel it anymore? That's detachment. And now you're in this beautiful receiving mode. You've quieted your mind and you've allowed yourself to receive guidance, to receive downloads, to receive peace. You've just put yourself in a really beautiful mode of receiving. And that's all you want to do. That's the whole purpose of a meditation. Because when you calm your mind or you quiet your mind, then God can get in there and talk to you in a way that you can hear it. But he can't get through when we're filled with all of this chatter. Even if it's our to-do list, even if it's the day before vacation and we're so excited and we're like, I got to go over here and I got to go over there and I got to make sure this is done. That's still going through your to-do list. That's still chatter. So not all mind chatter is negative chatter, but if it's too loud, the spirit can't get in and help your day be that much more meaningful and that much more juicy and that much more magical for you. It really is it's a gorgeous way to connect with God and to connect with your higher power and your higher self. And you start with 10 minutes. It takes me a good 8 minutes to get to detachment most of the time because I have to keep reining in my mind. And I've been meditating almost every day for years. So it's okay. It's a work in process and a work in progress as well. And so I just remind myself, oh, that's right, detached, because your thoughts have hooks on them and they try to hook you and then drag you down the rabbit hole of whatever that thought is. And so the whole idea is to not get hooked by the thought. And so they're just kind of like ribbons of thought, but I just let the ribbon of thought just move past my mind. And then I breathe. And sometimes I have to remind myself, that's right, we're not on a to-do list, we're detaching. And so I focus on something really simple. I'll focus on my breath and how it feels in my body. Very, very simple. Nothing that takes any sort of mental energy. The music is helpful. If the music is distracting, I have a clock in my living room and I'll listen to the tick of the clock because it's a secondhand clock. And that is also something that helps me come back to center. But it's so simple. It's so beautiful. And you are worth 10 minutes of quieting your mind. You'll be amazed at how energized you feel when you do this. You'll be amazed at how much more connected to possibilities you are, how much easier it is to think in terms of prosperity rather than struggle, and how quickly things click in for you. It's not magic, but the results that you experience from that really feel magical. So I want you to try it. Now, if you are like, no, I don't really know where to go from here, I'd rather have some guided meditations. I actually created 3 guided meditations for you to help you out. One is on connecting to God's frequency. One is connecting to your own feminine energy. And one is a money meditation. It's a $250,000 money meditation. There's a couple of ways that you can grab these meditations. You can text success to 801-701-7157, or you can just click on the link below and opt into our text community, and you'll get those links to those 3 different guided meditations delivered right to your phone. So try this on, play with it, allow it to be imperfect, because it's going to be imperfect so much more than it's going to be perfect. But even imperfection, and in its imperfection, it will have a profound difference for good in your life. Try these meditations on and remember, prosperity becomes you.